y'all, and welcome back to my channel, The Cutest Little Thing, Upcycle with Andrea. I am Andrea, and thank you so much for hopping on and watching today. I am in my craft room, and I have just been grabbing some stuff out of my stash, just doing a little organizing in here, getting ready to start full-blown creating for fall. I'm super excited. I love fall. Now, I'm an absolute #1 fan of Christmas and Christmas decor, but fall is a very close second. So I'm super excited about starting to craft for fall. I've already done some, but I'm just getting into it really heavy and getting some stuff ready for my booth. For those that don't know, I do have a local booth where I live, where I rent the space, and I, have my items and everything in there for sale in my area. So I'm super excited about revamping that booth and getting it ready for all things fall. So without further ado, we're going to get started with some really neat, cute fall crafts. So I hope you enjoy today's video. Alright guys, for this project I have this like aluminum stainless steel tray. I thrifted this for $2.99, and I'm going to start out by painting it with the color celery in my Waverly chalk paint. And I'm sure it's going to take 2 coats of our paint here. Just got me some in a bowl. I'm just going to brush this on. I did clean it there before I started filming, when I was getting my project pieces together. So I've already gave it a good cleaning, the best I could. It had some stuff kind of stuck on there, but I got the most of it off, and the paint will take care of the rest. Okay, I finished up with the second coat, and I'm going to let this dry, and then we'll be ready to go to our next step. All right, both of those coats are dry. Now I'm going to go with, I had this little transfer in my stash that says Farmer's Market. I think that would be super cute to put right on the edge of this, and it fits perfectly. So I'm just going to go ahead and center this up and apply this onto our tray. Okay. So this, just using the little transfer tool that comes with your transfers that you purchase. This transfer probably came with a set of transfers I ordered off of Amazon. Because I know it's not IOD or anything like that. Alright, there we go. Got that on there. That looks really cute. Alright, now I'm just going to add a little bit of antique wax. I'm just going to pour me some here. And I just have a plate. I'm kind of dabbing, offloading that antique wax. I'm going to start on the edges and just lightly brush on, and also at the bottom. And then I may put a dab or two in the middle of our tray. But I want to start it just on the top and bottom. And I also may put something on this other side, like we put the farmer's market transfer on one side. I may decide to come on this side and put something else, and I could even do like a reversible tray, like if I did, which farmer's market is pretty, what is it? Like, you can use it anytime. I can't even think of that word. Compatible. Is that the correct word? Okay, so now guys, I'm just taking and sort of dry brushing the antique wax in, just kind of all over the tray and on the handles as well. Alright y'all, now we're ready to put some Pretties in our tray. It's good and dry. I like to use these pool noodles I grab at Dollar Tree or Dollar General to use as a filler, and it can also be used in the place of you know, the foam, because most floral stems will stick through this material. And I'll normally just cut them to fit my container, and then I'll cut them in half. I'll cut one side and then flip it and cut the other side. Just like that. And see, you can lay it right in there. I think I'll cut 2 more little pieces to go right there on that side. That. Yeah, and you can kind of stick them in there where they fit snug, or if they don't, you can always hot glue them in place where they'll stay in place. Okay, so I'm just using my clear wax in the Waverly, and I just take it just like, you know, paint, and I just brush it in. You just kind of work it in. Now, being this is aluminum, or you know, it's not really going to work in as well as if it were wood or another surface. So I'm just going to work in and spread it around. And this is just going to help seal up our piece here. Now I'm getting my burlap fabric, and I'm just going to cut a strip to lay right over that. I'm just going to kind of measure where I can cut this to fit. I get my burlap fabric off of Amazon usually. I just buy it in a bulk pack, and it lasts me a good while. I think I'll kind of lay that in the tray and sort of tuck it in where it'll, you know, just spill over the sides like that, and that just gives it a really nice look. And now we're ready to just get an arrangement for fall. I have lots of these little pumpkins. I just ordered a couple of big bags of them off of Amazon. They're different colors. I love these. I'm loving these tones for fall. Blues, greens, and whites, and muted tones. And I just got some little leaves that were in the pack. I have these cute little pheasant feathers. I got these from Amazon as well. And then I've just got some greenery and some moss. I also got this box of pumpkins off of Amazon, and these are more of your traditional colors, your oranges, and there are some greens in there and some whites, but I love these as well. But I think for this project, we'll just stick to our whites and greens and blues, especially since our tray is green. I think that will just really complement it really well. So I'm just going to play around with this and get an arrangement how I like, and then this project will be complete. And there we go, guys. I love how this turned out. I think it's so beautiful. I decided not to put the feathers in. I just weren't really liking that. And I also decided not to use the leaves. I just wanted to keep it these colors. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and thanks for watching. Alright guys, for this project I have this kitchen board I thrifted. I think it was $1.99 or $2.99. I can't remember, but we are going to flip this and make it into something really cute. I'm actually going to do a reversible kitchen board with it. So I'm going to start by painting it in the color plaster in the Waverly. And of course I'm going to do one side, let it dry, and then do the other side. I'm not sure. I'm going to put something over this label here. I love this Land O'Lakes label, but I don't know. It kind of needed, it had some bad spots here and there. If not for that, I would have left this side as is and then just made over the other side. But being it had those bad spots in it, I thought that I may as well just go ahead and redo the whole thing. But this is a little bit textured where this part is, so I'm hoping that it works out okay. I'm also doing sort of a wash with my paint here. I'm just dipping my brush in some water to help spread my paint along. That kind of thins it. Well, it not only helps spread the paint when you're painting, but it just is thinner, so it just gives it a different look. It gives you that whitewash look instead of like full coverage. And you can still see like some design in the wood and things like that. So but with this, we're going to be doing a reversible sign. So I'm going to do one side one way and the other side another way. Okay, our 2 coats on our kitchen board here is good and dry, front and back. So now we are going to do a reversible, I can't remember if I've already said that in the video. I'm going to do one side just regular anytime decor. I have purchased this beautiful image, this instant download off of an Etsy shop. And I've already printed it and cut it out. And I just kind of cut my edges rounded. And I just cut the straight edge for this project. And I'm going to get this Mod Podged onto this side of the board. And it will fit perfect right there. And then once it sits a little while, we'll flip it. And I'm going to go with a fall theme for the other side. So, I'm just using one of these little sponge brushes to put on my Mod Podge onto the back of my image. And I did print this on it's like vintage paper. I get it off of Amazon. So I did print my image onto it just to give it that antique look. Because I didn't want it, you know, just on white printer paper for this. Alright, so I think I've got that good and covered. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to place this. I'm going to try to center it the best that I can here. And just rub that down with my fingers. Okay. Okay, I think that looks great there. I'm going to dry it for just a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and flip it over and do the other side. Okay, I take that back. Before we do, I have these half beads that I get from Amazon. I think just to put one on each corner of our image would be super cute. But I do think I'm going to go and paint them really quick with my antique wax. So I'm going to go ahead and cover them with the antique wax. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think I like that better. I do like the natural too, but I just think I want them to be darker. So I'm going to get all 4 of these covered in my antique wax, and then we'll be ready to hot glue them on to the 4 corners. Alright, now we're ready to get these glued on in place. I think I'm just going to put the glue directly on the back of the bead. And there we go. I am loving that so far. I love this image that I got off of Etsy. I think it is so pretty. Alright, now on to the other side. I decided to go with this harvest image that I also purchased off of an Etsy shop. So I already have it cut out, and I'm going to Mod Podge it onto the other side of our cutting board. Sort of right in the center. And then I may do some of the little crafter beads like we did on the other side. But we'll just start by getting this Mod Podged on. And again, I'm using my sponge brush here to get my Mod Podge onto the back of my image. I like to use these sponge brushes for Mod Podge because Mod Podge is hard to wash out of your regular paint brushes, and these little sponge brushes are cheaper, so you can just kind of toss them after you use them for Mod Podge, and you don't really have to worry about, you know, having to wash them out of your paint brushes and all of that. Alright, so I have this. Make sure you get your edges really well because you want all that to adhere to your surface. Okay. Just going to try to place it in the middle of my board. We want it straight at the top. And then just sort of bring it down and wipe out. And I don't have any wrinkles here, but if you are applying this and you are having trouble with wrinkles, you can take balled up saran wrap and kind of rub over your surface, or you can put fabric over or wax paper over and iron the surface, and that will help to get out wrinkles as well. But thankfully, I don't have any wrinkles this time. So that's a plus. Okay, now I have my little half crafter beads here. Just kind of playing around to see. I think I'm just going to glue them right in the corners of my board. I think that makes a pretty border there. So again, I'm just going to apply my hot glue right on the back of my bead. And I think it just adds a little something to the boards to put them in the corners like this. And I'm going to leave these the natural. I think it blends really well with my image, my colors in there. And I am going to distress this just a little. And I may end up doing a little antique wax. I'm just not sure yet, but I'm going to sit this over to the side and let it dry. And then, of course, we are going to do a bow on the handle for each side. So look at that side. I just love that. Let me know what you guys think. And then here is our lemon side. How gorgeous is that? And I just love these reversible decor pieces. You can just use them, get so much more use out of your decor without having to switch so much out. All right, so we're just gonna set this to the side and then we'll go on with our bow and next step. Okay, our label is good and dry on our board here. Let me clean my area just a little bit. Okay, so now I want to take some antique wax. I'm just using Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm going to sort of lightly airbrush on some antique wax over this board. Just to blend, because our label's sort of antique. So that will blend in the board with the label a little bit better. And I'm going to also do the other side the exact same way, our lemon side. Being this was printed on the antique paper, I just think it will look better to use some antique wax. And that will blend everything in a little bit better. So I'm just dabbing into my wax and offloading just a little bit. I'm going to start around the edges. And let's see. I don't know, that's right. I'm gonna go heavier around the edges. I started to say I went a tad bit heavier there where I just started, but I think that'll be fine because I'll just go heavier around the edges and then just sort of dry brush on the rest of the board. And I'll just go over my beads as well. And I'm also going to lightly go over my label, my decoupage image, and that'll just kind of blend everything in together. I don't want to go too. And you can always wipe back if you're, doing your antique wax and you get it a little heavier or a little darker than you want. You can always wipe back any excess. I'm just trying to get those hot glue strings off. Okay, so we got that side. I'm also going to distress our board with some sandpaper. All right, I'm going to flip it and do the exact same thing to this side. Okay, I got our wax on. Now I'm just going to wipe back a little bit using a dry paper towel. Alright guys, I think that looks good. We'll just put it to the side. Let that antique wax dry a little bit, and then we'll be ready to embellish with a cute bow. Okay, now we're ready to make our bow. This is just a piece of fabric. It was actually a sheet that I thrifted, and I've just cut a section of it. And I have already pre-cut some ribbon. I've got some burlap ribbon here. And I also have this design. I also have some pre-cut lace. I usually get this from the Dollar Tree. And I also have these ribbon pieces. Now this, well, here's the burlap, and these two, the green and the yellow, I've pre-cut for this side to do on my, well, y'all can't see, I'm sorry, to do on my lemon side. So I wish I had some blue, and I'm going to check my stash one more time because I may have some, but blue would just be so pretty on this side, as well as go with this side with the pumpkins. I could cut just a blue section out of my sheet, so I may try to do that, but I'm gonna definitely use this on this side with the harvest side. I think that'll look really good. Okay, so I'm just going to get my bow together and finish cutting this fabric and get our bow on each side. right, guys, that's it for our board. I just love how this turned out. I love that ribbon. I did end up adding a half bead, and I also brushed it with our antique wax just so it would go with the other half beads on the board. And then I love this side as well. I loved how that bow turned out, and I don't know if I showed it on the video, but I added a little key to this. I get these packs of keys off of Amazon, and they are just so cute. They're all about this size. There may be some variation in some of the sizes, a little smaller, a little larger on some, and the design varies a little bit on each of them. But I just love those little keys from Amazon, and they just add a little something extra to your project. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this project. Let me know what you think of our reversible kitchen board. I'm going to stage it up and take some pictures, and that is that for that project. Let me know what you think in the comments. And that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, I hope, well, first of all, if you like today's video, I hope that you'll give me a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and help my channel grow. You can also share this with a friend who you think will like it too. And you can also hit your bell to personalize your notifications so you don't miss any future videos that I upload here on YouTube. Also, you can hop over to my Facebook page, The Cutest Little Thing. You can give me a like and a follow there as well, so you don't miss anything over on Facebook either. Also, on my Facebook page is where you can find my items listed, and I have them available for sale. I also ship most items unless it, is too big or weighs too much to be shipped. So I do ship most items. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Stay tuned for our next Get Ready for Fall Y'all series. Have a great day. See y'all next time.